All right, today we're going to talk about something you probably look at every single day, but maybe don't really think about: the trees in your yard. I mean, there's so much more than just scenery, right? They are a huge part of your property. And as we're about to see, taking care of them the right way is, well, it's a lot more important than you might think.
So let me just start with a question for you. What do you think is the single most valuable and, get this, potentially the most dangerous thing on your entire property? It's probably not what you're thinking. It's not your car. It's not even your house. It's your trees. Kind of wild when you think about it that way, isn't it?
And that kind of surprising answer brings us right to our first big idea here. See, trees, they really live this double life. On the one hand, they are a fantastic asset. But on the other, they can become a serious liability and fast. It's this delicate balance that's playing out in all of our yards.
And this duality is absolutely key. On one side of the coin, you've got these healthy, beautiful trees that add so much value and charm to your home. But if they're neglected, they can flip to the other side and become a real threat, dropping huge limbs or, the whole tree could even come down.
So there's this tipping point. You know that moment when a tree starts blocking a view you love, or you hear that awful creaking sound during a storm that just makes your stomach drop? Or maybe it just looks sick. Well, that's when it stops being just a piece of the landscape. That's the moment when proper professional care isn't just a nice idea, it's absolutely essential. So let's just dive right into the most urgent issue first: the hazardous tree problem. This is where we're past the point of just simple upkeep. Now we're talking about a tree that's sick, maybe it's already dead, or it's posing a direct risk to your home, and it might just need to be completely removed. And let's be super clear about something. This is not a weekend DIY project. I mean, the source material puts it perfectly. Professional tree removal is a complex and risky task that demands technical expertise. Seriously, trying to do this yourself can lead to thousands in property damage, or way, way worse. So how do the pros handle it? Well, it's a really disciplined three-step process. It all starts with an expert assessment of the tree and everything around it. From there, they move into meticulous planning to figure out the absolute safest way to bring it down. And only then, once the plan is perfect, does the actual removal even begin. And of course, trouble doesn't always give you a heads up, right? A big storm rolls through in the middle of the night and suddenly you have a massive problem. That's why professional services also have emergency removal for those totally unforeseen disasters. And believe me, that can be a real lifesaver. But what if you could avoid that whole emergency situation in the first place? Well, you can. And that brings us to our next section, where we shift from being reactive to being proactive with trimming. See, this is how you keep your trees firmly in that asset column. Regular professional trimming isn't just about making them look pretty. No, it's absolutely essential for the tree's long-term health, its beauty, and most importantly, for keeping it safe. And the benefits here are just huge. I mean, sure, trimming preserves the tree's natural shape and beauty, but way more important, it gets rid of dangerous deadwood before it has a chance to fall. It also thins out the canopy so light and air can get through, which is vital for the tree's health. And a huge one, a trained arborist can spot potential problems you'd never see. We're not just talking about some person with a chainsaw here. We're talking about certified arborists who use proven scientific methods. They use these precise techniques, things like canopy reduction, which is carefully making the treetops smaller, and thinning, all to make sure that tree is going to thrive for years and years. Okay, so picture this. The tree is gone, the danger is gone, but the job's not quite done. And that brings us to a super common and really annoying problem: the leftover stump. I mean, you go through all that work of safely taking down this massive tree, and you're left with this ugly stump just sitting there right in the middle of your otherwise beautiful yard. Yeah, the problem is definitely not over.
Thankfully, there's a really modern, kind of elegant solution. It's called stump grinding. And as the source material says, it really is the best way to handle this. Basically, a pro comes in with a specialized machine and just grinds that entire stump down to nothing, well below the surface of the ground. It's pretty amazing to watch.
So why is this so important? Well, it boils down to three main reasons. First, let's be honest. Stumps are just plain ugly. They're an eyesore. Second, they are a serious safety hazard, a major tripping risk for everyone, especially kids.
And finally, if you leave it, you've got to mow around that thing forever, and that's just a constant pain. So we've talked about removal, we've talked about trimming, and we've covered stump grinding. The common thread weaving through all of these is pretty simple. It's why expertise matters. This is all about understanding the incredible value a real professional arborist brings to the table.
This little table here really sums it all up, doesn't it? If you have a hazardous or dead tree, tree removal solves that problem and keeps your property safe. Got overgrowth or disease? Tree trimming promotes health and helps that tree live a long time. And those leftover stumps? Stump grinding restores your yard's beauty and safety. See? Each service is a targeted solution to a very specific problem.
So what does this all boil down to in terms of value? Well, it's about getting high-quality work done by certified professionals and for a fair price. You're not just paying someone to cut wood. You're really investing in safety, in expertise, and honestly, in your own peace of mind. At the end of the day, this is the promise, isn't it? It's not just about cutting down a tree or trimming a few branches. A true professional service is committed to being reliable and doing work that's so good the client feels like they got way more than they paid for. That's the goal. So, what's the big takeaway here? What should you remember from all this? It's simple, but it's really powerful. Proactive care. Regular trimming, getting expert advice. That's what transforms a tree from a potential and very expensive liability back into the beautiful, valuable asset it's supposed to be. And that leaves us with one final, big question to chew on. Just look out your window right now at the trees on your property. When it comes to your home safety and its value, are you the one managing your trees? Or, with every passing storm and every falling branch, are they the ones managing you?